Hey gang, AV here. Welcome to another CGC unboxing video. Just got a package in today. This is a pre-screen for a 9.6. Why did I do a 9.6? Because well, it was the first pre-screen I ever did, and I'm dumb. And well, frankly, these are all gimmick covers. They can't be pressed because they're gimmick covers. They're all foil or hologram or whatever. So, and a lot of these came from my personal collection. I just wanted to have at least one of each represented in my collection in a slab. I was willing to go to a 9.6. Obviously, I would prefer a 9.8, but whatever. So anyway, a lot of these are from my personal collection and will stay in it. But some of these will be for sale. So we'll see what happens. My doubles and whatnot. So anyway, here's the box. It's a big box. Not all of them made the cut either. So I am glad I did the pre-screen regardless. Because obviously if it was going to come back at 9.4 or lower, when you see the books, it's probably not going to be worth it. The cost of getting them graded at that point. Because a lot of these can actually still be found in the dollar bins. I just wanted high-grade examples for my collection. So anyway, let's open the box up and see what we got. Invoice. I'll keep that for my taxes this year. Alright, looks like we are facing this direction, which is good. Let's just take this out of here so that I can actually have some room to work with. Alright, toss that over there. And I'll take the rejects out. We'll have a look at the rejects when I'm done. Alright, so without further ado, actually, you know what? I'm going to face them the other way. That way it'll be easier for me to cover up the grades. I won't have to worry about showing them to you guys. So, first order of business. Where can I put this? There we go. We have Web of Spider-Man number 90. This is the second print. You can tell that by the gold hologram instead of the silver in the front there. This contains a gatefold poster with Spider-Man 2099, if you read the blurb right there at the bottom. This came back a 9.8, so I'm very happy about that. Very nice. Not sure how many second prints are out there, but we'll see. I'll check the census when I'm done. Very cool. And this, out of all the four holograms that came out, when was this? 92? Yeah, back in 92. This was my favorite. I just felt that particular hologram, the artwork in it was really good. I would have said the Amazing Spider-Man one would have been my favorite normally, but I just wasn't keen on the artwork on that. I'll be honest. I think I have one in here, so I'll show you what I mean when we get to it. All right. Here is the Spectacular Spider-Man 190, I believe. Yes, or no, I'm sorry, 189. That's a cool hologram on that one, too. This is the first print, so this is silver, so you can see what I mean. This was gold. See the difference? All right, and this came back a 9.8. So that's pretty cool. Happy to see that. Oh, and it's the newsstand. Very nice. And if you don't know, the newsstands, especially in the 90s, were getting harder and harder to find. They're almost impossible to find now, but back then they were getting harder and harder to find. So, next up we have okay, Spider-Man 26. First print, direct edition. And this was a 9.8 again, so very cool. Very cool. Did I get a full set of 9.8 holograms? Oh, well, we have to wait to see that. Not quite there yet. Did not get to the Amazing Spider-Man one yet. This is Ghost Rider Volume 2, number 15. This is the very first glow-in-the-dark cover. And in case you're not aware, the flames all glow in the dark. I actually have a 9.8 of this hanging on my wall. And it's awesome when I shut the lights out. Just see this flaming skull on the wall. It's pretty cool. This is a 9.8 again. Awesome. So I will definitely have a 9.8 for sale. So keep an eye out for that. Definitely a cool book to have. One of my all-time favorite gimmick covers. If not the favorite gimmick cover. Very, very cool. Alright. So stick that here. Next up we have, okay. This is the gold second printing of that Ghost Rider number 15. You can tell because of the gold background, obviously. And this came back a 9.6. I was hoping on the 9.8. I'm not quite sure why this one didn't get it. I looked it over. There were no fingerprints or anything. And that's another thing with the black and the gold covers, both. Fingerprints are just notoriously, it's a fingerprint magnet, quite frankly. So you got to be careful. Yeah, I don't know why this got a 9.6. Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's a sharp corner. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's a 9.6. It's my first copy of the second print graded, so that's definitely staying in the collection. I may upgrade it again eventually, but until I do, staying in the collection. All right, here we have the Web of Spider-Man number 100. This is the first appearance of the Spider-Man armor, bulletproof armor. And it's got the foil cover, as you can see. And this came back a 9.6. Again, I did the 9.6 just to give me better odds for getting these slabbed. These gimmick covers, you can't press them. You can actually see on this copy that there is a reader crease going up along the spine, which is, I guarantee you, why it got the 9.6. Not sure if it's going to come across on the camera here. These foil covers are tough on the camera, but you can kind of see it, like right there, that the reader crease from when the cover was bent back when it was read. And like I said, these came from my personal collection, so I did read these when I had them. But anyhow, it's a cool looking cover. I like the green and the web background, which you can kind of see. It's pretty neat. All right, next up we've got... okay. This is Avengers number 4, the Wizard Ace edition. In case you were unaware, the Wizard magazine back in the day, they packed in reprints of popular issues. And this was one of them. And they usually came with a, I forget the term for it, but it was like a plastic, see-through plastic cover that you could flip open, and there were other elements behind it. Like, for example, Captain America was on the plastic part of the cover, but the paper cover behind it had the rest of the Avengers to give it kind of like a 3D effect, you know, whatever. But because of that plastic cover, you can't have these pressed either, as far as I'm aware. But anyway, this was a 9.6 as well. I was hoping on the 9.8 for this one. It really didn't look as though there was anything wrong with it. But it is what it is. Still awesome to have. And I don't know if you can see it, but up there, right above my door, I have the first print of Avengers #4. It's my all-time favorite comic, and I love all the homages for it as well. So I'm happy to have this slabbed. Very cool. All right, so next up we have, okay, the Incredible Hulk, 393. This was his origin retold, I believe, and it was the first appearance of no, just 30th anniversary issue, green foil cover. I thought it was the first appearance of like the Smart Hulk or something, but I must be wrong. Anyway, it's a homage to the Incredible Hulk #1. Very cool. Shiny foil background again, which is why it can't be pressed. And this was a 9.6. Not too bad. Again, came from my personal collection. Stick that there. Next up, we've got another copy of Ghost Rider #15, first print. Very first glow-in-the-dark cover, as far as I'm aware. And this was a 9.8, so I'll have two 9.8s for sale, which is awesome. Again, awesome comic. All right, next up we've got, all right, Amazing Spider-Man #1. I think this was volume 3 or volume 4. I lost count, frankly. I mean, they've rebooted the title so many freaking times. But this is the one where Cindy Moon first appears, and she later is revealed to be Silk in issue #4. So this is the first appearance or first cameo. It actually doesn't say it on the label, but this is the first cameo of Cindy Moon. And this was a 9.8. So very cool. And this also had like a, it wasn't like regular paper. So I wasn't sure if this could be pressed or not. I figured I'd send it in with the gimmick covers just because. But anyhow, happy that came back in 9.8. Next up we've got, okay. We've got Monsters Unleashed #7. This is the lenticular cover. If you can see, you turn it to the light, it becomes Fantastic Four #1. Pretty cool. This came back a 9.8. Don't think I'm going to hold on to this one. I think I will put this one up for sale. I just thought the cover was neat. These lenticulars, that was a very cool gimmick that they came out with very recently. And I think they were pretty neat. Next up we've got, okay, the Max #1. This is the glow-in-dark variant. Pretty tough to find at the time. And this was mine, which I bought at the time too. I've held on to it all those years. Came back at 9.6. I was kind of hoping on the 9.8 on this one too. But anyhow, it's a cool cover to have. Definitely going to stick it up on the wall so he can glow in the dark next to Ghost Rider. Still very cool. Glad I got it slabbed. Again, I didn't think I was going to get 9.8s on all these, which is why I chose the 9.6 as far as the pre-screen goes. You always see people do the 9.8s. Well, I did 9.6 for this one. And I would have had considerably fewer books back if I just went 9.8, because I knew that some of these did have a few flaws. But granted, not all of them I thought had flaws. Oh, okay. So here's Amazing Spider-Man 365. The first appearance of Spider-Man 2099 in Cameo. Basically what happened is they previewed the first 5 pages from Spider-Man 2099 in the back of this book. And because you got to see Spider-Man 29 in context, in a story context, on several pages, that made this his first appearance, even though it's technically a preview. But anyway, I really didn't see very much wrong with this book. I mean, the bottom corner is a little chewed up, but that always happens with these because it's such a thick book that when they were being cut at the printer, the blade would get dull relatively fast. Anyway, this came back a 9.6, which is not too bad. Quite frankly, I actually already have this in a 9.6. I was hoping on the 9.8, but because it's a 9.6, I don't mind selling this one. So, not too bad. But again, this is the hologram I was talking about before, where this would have been my favorite if the artwork was just a little bit better, because it is a homage to Amazing Fantasy 15. But the artwork is just, the proportions don't look that great, in my opinion. I'm not sure if it's coming across on camera that well, but I felt the artwork on the Web of Spider-Man one was better. But anyway, let's take that there. Next up, we've got... Oh, okay. Spider-Man Special Edition. Now this, I could not get pressed because it is embossed. Which means that the figure of Venom is actually raised up off of the page. And if you pressed it, he's going to flatten out, which would damage the book. It's also got metallic lettering and stuff like that on the cover, which is kind of neat. This was a mail away through UNICEF. You had to mail a donation into UNICEF to get this comic. So this arrived in the mail with very little protection. And high-grade examples of this aren't that easy to get. But mine came back a 9.6, which is not too bad. I'm actually happy with that. I'm glad to have a slabbed version in my collection, which is pretty cool. And of course, it features Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Venom. So who doesn't like those three characters, especially right now? So very cool. Glad to have one of those in my collection. Or a slabbed version, I should say. All right. Amazing Spider-Man #1 again. It doesn't say it up there, but it's the first appearance of Cindy Moon. And this came back a 9.8, so this is now a double, and I will have another 9.8. I will have this for sale at some point on my Shortboxed page or on Facebook. We'll see which comes first. All right, next up we've got a copy of Spider-Man 234, which is another lenticular cover that does a homage to Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1, which was the first appearance of Sinister Six. So very cool. These lenticular covers are kind of neat. Very cool. And this came back a 9.8, so very cool. Very nice. Next up, we've got same issue again, and it was a 9.8 again. So I've got doubles of that. Very cool. Next up, we've got, it's like another lenticular cover, Spirits of Vengeance #1. Which is a homage to Giant Size X-Men #1. Trying to get it without glare, but still get the lenticular effect. Pretty cool. Okay. This came back at 9.8. Nice. Awesome. Oh, home stretch. Down to 3 more books. All right, this one is She-Hulk 159 lenticular cover, which is a homage to Incredible Hulk 159. I do have that one. Or no, it's not 159. It's 115. A homage to Incredible Hulk 115, which I do have in the collection. So it's kind of cool to have a lenticular of that particular issue. And this came back a 9.8, which is very cool. This one, we've got a copy of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 297, which is a homage to Captain America 297, or no. What issue of Cap was that? Oh, it's a 9.8. Took my hand off it early. Let's see here. 260. Captain America 260 homage. And I do have that issue too. It's just kind of cool. Very cool. And last but not least, we have another lenticular cover. This is the Mighty Thor number 700. I believe this was the... I can't read it. It just says it's a homage to The Death of Captain Marvel graphic novel, which you can see right there. And then you tilt it, and that's the Mighty Thor right there. Death of Jane Foster as Thor. That came back in 9.8. So very, very cool. That is it for the slabbed copies I got out of there. I got quite a few 9.8s, even though I selected 9.6 as my cutoff. So I'm actually kind of happy about that. But before you guys go, we can see the rejects. We can see the ones that didn't make it. So let me cut this open and see what we got in here. Okay. Two, three. Oh, not too bad. Only 4 books in there. That's really not too bad at all. All right. So first up, we had The Amazing Spider-Man 375, which was rejected. There is a little ding right here, but it doesn't seem to break color. But if it had to ask me, it's probably because this corner is a little dented in. Oh well. You can't win them all. Here is my copy of Spider-Man Special Edition, another one. This one did not make the cut. The top corner looks a little questionable. That might be why. Okay. Spider-Man 2099 did not make the cut. Again, none of these could have been pressed because they're foil or embossed or whatever. So I had to roll the dice and send them in as is, even though some of them did not look perfect. Although this one does not look too bad at all. I may actually send this one back in and try my luck again. We'll see. Because I don't see anything wrong with this. But anyway. And last but not least, we have Venom Lethal Protector number 1, which apparently did not make the cut either. And again, I don't see anything wrong with this either. So Very strange. I'm going to have to go over these with a fine-tooth comb and see what's going on. So anyway, that was my unboxing from CGC, my Prescreen 9.6. Overall, I'm happy with it. I mean, only 4 rejects. That's really not too bad. And the vast majority of the 9.6s I did get back, actually all the 9.6s I did get back, were from my own personal collection. It's not something I bought and then submitted because it looked good. It was something that I had read and looked over, you know, all that stuff. So, makes sense. And I'm pretty happy with the results. I have plenty of books that I can stick up on Shortboxed or on Facebook. We'll see where they end up. And I have got plenty of books that I can feed back into my collection. So, all's well. If you guys like this video, check out my channel, where you'll see a whole bunch of comic book as well as toy reviews and stuff like that. If you like what you see there, then please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.